Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Cassie and I am the Evil Secret Ninja and I review and do books on my channel. And today I'm doing a review of the Reckoners series by Brandon Sanderson. There's 4 books and a novella in the Reckoners series. The first 3 books in the series was Stillheart, Firefight, and Calamity. And these made up like the first trilogy following our original cast of Reckoners. There was also a novella in there called Mitosis. And so that is... And then just recently, Brandon Sanderson came out with another one called Lux. And that one had a co-author, Stephen Bowles, on it. Lux was about a different group of Reckoners in a different place. So let's look at the original trilogy. So the Reckoners takes place in our world. And one day there is this star in the sky. And it's this bright red star that has just like showed up out of the blue. And after this star shows up, the world starts to change a little bit. Certain people in this world are suddenly given superpowers, and they are called the Epics. So when this first starts to happen, people are noticing that the Epics aren't really superheroes. They seem to have lost their humanity or sacrificed their humanity for their superpowers. And there are, of course, people who believe that if you gotta have supervillains, you gotta have superheroes too. So eventually, we're gonna have some people who are not villains, which of course is not the case. It seems that whatever power is granted to these Epics, it corrupts them and they sacrifice their humanity in order to have these epic powers. So we follow our main character, David, who, when he was young, saw his father die at the hands of one of the Epics. The Epic's name was Stillheart. Stillheart is kind of... I'll say at first when he's introduced, he kind of remind you of Superman. He flies. He's impenetrable. He also is able to shoot energy beams at people. And he also has this strange ability to turn things into steel. That's why they call him Stillheart. Now, David, when his father died, and he saw something important, that Stillheart could be hurt. And it was always believed that he was impenetrable, but Stillheart could be hurt. He saw Stillheart bleed. Now he's growing up and he knows about Reckoners. Reckoners are a group of humans who are fighting against the Epics. The world has changed to the point that all of the world governments have said, hey, Epics are not required to follow any rules or laws. They can do whatever they want. Because if they don't agree to do that, then basically they just kill everybody. And they don't seem to care about it. And so it is kind of David's mission to kill Stillheart. That is what he wants. He wants revenge. He wants to, like, kind of the world to go back to normal. So he wants to be able to get rid of all the Epics. And he studies the Epics, like, a lot. And then the Reckoners show up. And he decides, like, I have to join the Reckoners. I have to be a part of their team. Because I have to fight back. So that's basically what he does. And he goes after Stillheart. He goes after Epics. He tries to make the world better. The red star is called Calamity, and it is believed that Calamity is the cause of all the Epics. But there's certainly like kind of a mystery involved with that. Like Calamity came, and then the Epics came. So, even though they happened one after the other, is it because of Calamity that the Epics came, or is there something else going on? I would say that The Reckoners is probably one of Brandon Sanderson's lesser loved books. Most people, even though if they really like Brandon Sanderson, this is the one that they kind of go, well, I didn't like it near as much. And it certainly has some downfalls. It is a young adult series. All of the swearing is kind of replaced with other words. They say calamity, they say sparks, they say all sorts of things that we wouldn't consider swear words. In a young adult novel, it's not like it's something that's not done. And that didn't bother me at all. Our main character David is kind of annoying. he says things that make no sense. He has all these analogies, and you go, well, that makes no sense. But I have to admit, like, they're usually really funny. It's more like, I guess I got the feeling that the author kind of put all these together just to see how ridiculous they could be. And I think he did a good job. I actually really enjoyed the series. I also was like this. I didn't like it as much as his other series, and we'll say that. But something about this series, I listened to the audiobooks with my children, all 4 novels, including Lux, and the novella Mitosis. And my children, as they listened to these, decided that they wanted to write their own stories, and that they were going to create their own superheroes, and they didn't have to have kind of the traditional superpowers that we look at in the superhero movies, that they could be different. They started writing their own little stories and having their own kind of ideas, like, this is how we're going to make an adventure. And so because of that, I have to give this series a lot of credit for that, because this was something that sparked their interest. It was something that the story made them want to write. It made them want to make their own stories and be more creative as far as writing goes. So I give this kind of a bonus because of that. I will say that the ending of the first trilogy, the ending of the 3rd book, the Calamity book, I'm not going to say what happened, but I will say I was a little disappointed. Brandon Sanderson usually does really great endings, but this one could have been a lot better. But the ending was not my favorite. Alright, so that is my review of The Reckoners by Brandon Sanderson. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.